Good morning. This is Cali Cat Tap Talks, and I am with Agent Cru. Yes, I did say Agent Cru. This is Agent Burgundy, or should I say Agent Cru again? Where did the code name come from, and how does it tie into your work with wine spirits? I mean, wine in general, spies.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on. Agent Crew reporting for duty. Indeed, I got my spy shades right here. Gotta live the brand. Yeah, but believe it or not, actually, in the wine industry, very few people know my real name. So we actually go by our code names here. So I'm Agent Crew, the CEO, and yeah, we've got 17 agents now that are undercover. So we got Agent Roan in the house, Agent Roti, Red, Som, the list goes on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So we'll get back to what agent means in the wine world in a quick second. But I just want to say you started as a cellar rat at your family's winery. What did those early days teach you about the wine world that still influence you today?
Yeah, absolutely. So cellar rat is a kind of fun term that some people like to use for the people at the bottom of the winery totem pole. These are the people actually making the wine, scrubbing barrels, making sure the fermenters are clean. A lot of cleaning involved in the winemaking process. So back in the day, I was a teenager, not knowing what I wanted to do, like we all are. And I was actually a college and career counselor, and she told me that I could go to school for wine. And when you're a kid, you're like, wait, I could go to school for learning how to make alcohol? That sounds awesome. I want to do that. So my uncle, my dad's brother's in the business, and he's got Deerfield Ranch Winery, which is a beautiful property in Sonoma Valley, huge cave, worth checking out, especially nice on a hot day. Tasting rooms right in the center of the cave. So that's where I cut my teeth, and I worked there for 8 years. Kind of worked my way up. When I left, I was the general manager. So didn't stay a cellar rat for too long, about 3 years of production. So it was nice because I got to see the actual winemaking side and learn a lot about that part of the process before I moved into the business side.
Wow, wow. So you said there's the place. Can you say that again, where people can go and taste the wine and walk around? It sounds like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
very
it's a
beautiful place.
gorgeous property, right in the middle of the Sonoma Valley. So halfway between the town of Sonoma and Santa Rosa, Highway 12 is the big kind of connecting road that all just beautiful grapes as far as the eye can see. Tons of wineries. If you're ever going to wine country, I highly recommend Sonoma Valley Day. And it's a 23,000 square foot cave, so you get to walk right in, see all the action. And the place is called Deerfield Ranch Winery. And it's been in business for, since 82. So going on 43 years. And we built the property. We bought a new parcel in 2000, dug the cave, built the winemaking facility. So that tasting room has been open for since '09. So trying to do math here on the fly. 16 years.
All you have to do is say, "Hey, it was built before my time, Callie."
Exactly. Yeah, actually, I came on board the year that the tasting room opened. So right when the cave got open.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you went from scrubbing barrels to launching Jurassic Wines. What inspired you to start your own brand?
Yeah, great question. We did a lot of custom crush at the winery, which basically means we made wine on behalf of other people as well. So it's a great side business because you don't have to wait for the bottles to get sold. And we did a lot of in-house label design services, and I worked with literally maybe 100 different winery hopefuls building their brands from scratch, and just got to have a lot of fun going through that whole packaging design process. I really love that aspect of it
Hmm.
because it's like a canvas, a wine bottle, and there's so many kind of constraints around how you can make a label, and sometimes in design, having those constraints actually forces you to be more creative. So I wanted to get into that myself and created a couple different fun labels. Torn, which was like if you're two varietal blends like Zinfandel and Cabernet. Are you torn between the two? Well, you can have both because this is a 50-50 blend, baby.
Yeah.
Um, so that was the thing. And honestly, I mean, I still to this day maintain Jurassic wines, but running wine spies is definitely a full-time gig.
Yeah. So when you joined Wine Spines, the company already had a presence, but a little bit of growth. What was the game plan that turned that around?
Yeah. So my business partner, Jason Sieber, who's undercover as Agent Red, is the founder of the company. And he had started it way back in 2007, which especially for winery ecom is like the pioneer days, the settlers. So it was like I think today Wine Spy is actually the longest running flash sale site for wine in the world. So he was really, really early to the party. And I came on board 10 years later. So he had some remarkable early growth, which was fantastic. And he'd been through kind of a couple of different teams, and it kind of hit its plateau when I came on board. But there's a ton of potential there for growth. And honestly, it wasn't rocket science. It took out a very small SBA loan just to kind of kickstart things, and it was, hire a really good marketer, hire a really good wine buyer. I should probably say, Wine Spies, what we do is we sell one different wine every 24 hours. So the clock strikes midnight, and a new wine goes up on the site. And our goal is that wine is the best price in the world. You can buy it anywhere for 24 hours. And what's cool that we do a little bit differently is we have a locker system. So you could basically aggregate your purchases together over time. And then when you get a full case, that case ships for free. So that's nice because you could get one bottle here, one bottle there. And before it was buy 6 bottles, get free shipping. So, that really, that's challenging because, all right, today's wine, it's like this crazy cab. It's $125 normally. Today only, you get it for $50. Okay, well, that's a good deal. But if I have to buy 6 of them, that's $300.
Yeah.
That's a big ask, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So changing that from the buy 6 get free shipping to you could buy as little as 1 bottle, add up your wine over time. It's like, okay, maybe I'll take a flyer on this wine for $50, $25. So that was a great idea that Red had long had, but hadn't actually built the feature out. So I'm like, what was the best idea you've ever had in 10 years? And he's like, this is it. I'm like, all right, we're going to make that happen. We're going to get level up our wine game, and we're just going to get a pro marketer in house. And that kind of started the flywheel. And then from there, it's just been just a rocket ship.
Just a rocket ship, man.
Yeah,
Just
which
keep
is
on
great.
riding it, right?
Exactly. Just
That's
bringing
just
the
great
good wines
marketing.
to people. That's all it's all about.
Yeah, but how do you decide which wine you're gonna do for that
Yeah.
24-hour period, and what's the behind the scenes selection process like?
That's the
So
fun part. Yeah, no, it's to this day, every single Friday, no work gets done around here other than the tasting. We got 3 wine buyers now, and they'll be like, anywhere between 20 to 50 different wines on the table. And we all still, convene around the tasting table, like the whole team. Like, doesn't matter what you do at the company, you're welcome to taste with us. And everyone gets their voice in there, which really makes a difference because people got different palates, different styles, and yeah, we taste all the wines all together, and then the first hurdle that it has to clear is that we love the wine,
hmm
and
yeah,
we've got customers who we call our operatives that have been with us for 15 years, and the reason for that is just the wines are consistently good because we have to pick one wine a day, and that's what we build our reputation on. So, it's hard when you're buying wine on the internet because,
you
you didn't
can't
get a chance
taste
to
it.
taste it. You can't taste it. So trust is everything. So the first thing, it's like, is this wine a wine we would be stoked to open? Yes. Okay. Then we talk numbers. Like I said, we're trying to sell it for the best price in the world. So all the not all the time the economics work out, even if we love the wine. So, well, then from there, we'll basically go back to the winery and negotiate. And the bigger we get, the easier it is to buy in volumes that really get the price down. So, and nowadays it's actually like what back in the day, it used to be hard because wineries were worried about, oh, it's like the discount thing. Is this going to be a problem for our price point? But nowadays, the recognition is just there that we have Wine Spies itself has an amazing audience of serious wine drinkers.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, our Facebook operative hangout is like blowed up. It's so cool. People are like, people are making friends on there. They're like FaceTiming each other at 3 a.m. now, like different states and stuff. So it's a real community, and they're really passionate about it. So now it's really also viewed as a great marketing opportunity for wineries for, giving people a chance to discover brands they haven't heard of.
All right. So you said Wine Spies. That's on Facebook. Anybody can join, or do you guys have like a specialty a guideline? Some people the groups are guidelines and stuff.
That's the best part, Cali Cat. Are you talking about Facebook or are you talking about winespies.com?
I'm talking about the Facebook
Oh, Facebook group.
winespies.com.
So okay, so Wine Spies. So Wine Spies. That's the beauty. There's no subscription. You just buy what you want. It really is that simple, and
Uh-huh.
that, especially in an era of not just wine clubs but subscriptions for everything. You sock subscriptions. It's like everyone's done with subscriptions. So you just buy what you want. For the Facebook operative hangout, though, you do have to be a customer. So we're a covert group of
Oh,
operatives here.
that's
So
clever.
we actually vet each of the requests. So you better buy a bottle if you want to join the party.
You want to join the club, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
You said wine is the most complex product to sell. What's the biggest operational challenge you've had to solve?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think people just don't really think about it. It's obvious in hindsight. It's like it's expensive to ship because it's heavy, like really heavy. It's fragile. It's glass bottles. It's perishable, so it's temperature sensitive, hot and cold, and it's highly regulated. It's like super complicated because there's 50 states, and unlike every other product, because of prohibition and the fact that it's that was actually a constitutional amendment. It's
Hmm.
one of the few products that's not included in the Commerce Clause, which basically makes it so that states can't set up their own tariff systems and stuff like that. So it's exempt from that. So every state's allowed to make its own rules. So it's really, really complicated to basically get it to people. Um, and we are really a tech company at heart. Red made a decision super early on, in a lot of ways out of need because there was no e-commerce off the shelf software that we were going to build it ourselves. So to this day, I mean, we spend a lot of money on continuing to develop our site and our app. We do it all in house, and that gives us the ability to add awesome features that other people don't have. But on
Hmm.
the back end, that's where the kind of magic happens that people don't see. You place your order like Amazon or whatever, and a ton of stuff has to happen in order for that to get to you. And we have temperature controlled shipping. So, it goes on a refrigerated truck to, a region near you, and then they put in an ice pack there, and then, get it to you final mile. And all that stuff just requires a bunch of backend infrastructure. So, making that seamless, that's really where the heavy lift is. And also, what I think I'm particularly proud of is it's not just automating it for the customers; it's
Hmm.
automating it for us to run the business. Like we can and have run the business with as little as 2 people. So, and that's only possible, especially when you have to create an entire sale, and write all the content that we do every single day. That's really only possible because we've got a ton of just automation and systems in place to kind of manage those handoffs and processes.
Oh, wow. So, I'll throw you a left one here.
Yeah, please, curveballs.
Yeah, curveballs are okay. Okay, so what is the story behind Agent Cru?
Yeah. Like I said, got my start in the industry very early on in my career.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always loved it. I just actually do really like wine. you know, it's funny because there's the level of people throw out around the word passion a lot, but there are people that there's levels to this game for sure. Like my wine buyer, Agent Noir. I mean, this man is like the level of knowledge and expertise he has. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think I could do this for another 40 years and I'll just like never get nearly as close. So, I'm like, I would consider myself a professional enthusiast, and yeah, I just like I love how it's something fun that brings people together. It's like you could be killing it in your company, but you know what? You sell like bolts or spark plugs. It's like it's just not as interesting and sexy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and you can't taste it.
No, you can't taste it. Fridays are you're not sitting around doing your bolt tasting on Friday. So that's kind of really kept my heart in this.
Uh-huh.
And we've branched out. That we bought this awesome HQ here in Petaluma. It's rad, and we've been like going room to room remodeling it. It's actually really really cool, fun place to visit. And so we branched out trying to start some different companies, like a mushroom supplements company and a couple different other ones. And at the end of the day, for me, it's like my heart's still in the wine game. I just love it. So it's always interesting.
Yeah. So wine is art, agriculture, tech, and tradition all rolled into one.
Yep.
So how do you balance all of those elements into your business?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're totally right. It really is art and tradition. And well, what I would say is if you're the best wines are the ones that the winemaker is like really really gives a shit about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that is the artistry, and that comes through in the final product, and it makes it a better product.
Mm-hmm.
So, like if you're taking the art and craft seriously of it, that's I think gonna translate pretty well. Just in general, like you're going to be more sought after. And as for the tradition goes, I think it's built into what consumers want. Like screw caps, for example, have been around for decades now, and the results are in. They're actually a great closure. They work well for aging wine. They make a lot more sense. They caught on in Australia, but they never caught on here, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're gonna. And the reason for that is there's this whole vibe around wine, and it's not about like the super stuffy sommelier. It doesn't have to get to that snobbish level, but it's just that experience of like popping a cork. It's like it's just this cultural thing that just gives us that kind of sense of pleasure, luxury, experience. And that's something that's kind of in my mind like built into what people want. So there's tons and tons of avant-garde wine projects with crazy fun labels, and that's cool too, and it's awesome when people are experimenting. But time and time again, people kind of gravitate toward that tradition side. So I really do think that it's not hard to build a business based around that.
Mm-hmm.
um, that doesn't mean that there's not tons of room for fun. I mean, like wine spies, that's what we
Yeah,
do.
and
You
your
know,
spies.
yeah, we're the wine spies. I mean, if you
The
read,
wine spies.
we write a ton of content every single day about each
Yep.
wine, and people to this like all the time, not sometimes, like all the time, are just like, oh my god, I love reading your emails every day. Like, they're just so fun. They always make me laugh. Like, who says that about a marketing email? You know what I mean? So yeah, we definitely try to keep it fun. Actually, our Instagram is like we've really been focusing on it and just kind of like pulling the curtain back and showing all the craziness around here. So yeah, at Wine Spies, if you want to see what a day at HQ is like, it's ridiculous.
Hey, you know what? And it's great indirect marketing, utilizing the social platforms and showing everybody that you're having fun and you're passionate about what you're doing. It creates people and it grows a community that for like-minded people.
Totally.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like
So,
we take the wine seriously, but we don't take ourselves seriously.
so what role do relationships and connections play in the wine industry, and how have you built yours over the years? I know we heard a little bit of it, but give us a
Yeah,
little
no,
more.
no, I mean, it is all about relationships. I mean, like the technology that we've built and stuff is great and important, but realistically, you could get into what we're doing tomorrow with Shopify nowadays. The reason that it's not possible for businesses to do that, and there's very few companies that do what we do, is
Hmm.
because you just have to have hundreds and hundreds of relationships directly with producers, brokers, distributors. A lot of these people are, close friends. There's no shortcut to that. There's just not. So, we've built those, over 2 decades now. In the early days, it was really hard for Red. No one knew what the hell he was talking about because it was such a new concept. So he's, showing up at wineries, kicking down doors, and they're like, get the hell out of here. You know? Um, and how the times have changed for sure. So people seek us out now, which is great. But yeah, it really, wine, more than I think many businesses, is particularly relationship based, and reputation is everything.
Hmm.
Which makes for a super positive experience because everyone's basically on their best behavior and trying to look for win-wins. So, it really is. And there's just such cool people. I mean, we work with a lot of winemakers, and they're very kind of they're a very particular bunch. They're a lot of times very eccentric by nature, and almost always interesting. So, yeah, you just need a lot of cool people that you actually want to hang out with.
And then they come over for Friday. Is it Friday afternoon sipping
Yeah,
or
Friday
Friday
afternoon,
night sipping?
2 p.m. It's a shit show, baby.
But it's a fun. The shit
Yeah.
show is like, can you guys walk after you tasting the wine?
Yeah, 50 wines makes it tough. We actually we recently, because now we've got like I said, 17 agents, and now we kind of have to we take careful notes, and then on Monday we're like reevaluating, like, well, how much we really actually like.
I think I like this a little more than that one. It could have been
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
palate or something.
exactly.
So speaking of agent, how'd you guys come up with the cool name, Agent Cru, Agent Burgundy, Agent Red?
Yeah.
I mean, what is the story behind the wine
Um,
spies?
Well, I mean, it was just Agent Red's brainchild at the very beginning. He was looking for a different way into the story of of,
Wines.
of wine. Yeah, and so originally, every single day, he would write the story as like a new mission, you know, and that was the shtick. We definitely still have a lot of wine spy shtick, but we don't write it in that same mission style every single day. But that's where it really started. And it's funny, like when people come on board, the first thing is like, hey, you better choose a good agent name, because that's what people are going to call you every day. And we don't have any turnover here. I think since I've been here now 8 years, I think I've had one person leave. And so, it's like, you're committing to this name for a long time. Better like it. Um, yeah, and it's wild. I mean, people sometimes can't believe how much we live the brand. But I sign all my emails Cru, and it is weird when I hear my real name sometimes.
I don't even think I know your real name.
Yeah, exactly. See, I'm a good spy.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, you're a great spy. Oh my goodness. It sounds like everybody's just having so much fun. And that's what the workforce should be about. Still producing, still getting customers to like your product. and having fun with the employees. I
I,
think that's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
couldn't agree more. I mean, honestly, like that is our company like ethos right there.
Yeah.
Because it's work hard, play hard, and I really feel like if people are actually genuinely stoked to show up, they're gonna do their best,
Yeah.
and then rather than it being, like fear based of like, oh, I gotta get this job done or else I'm gonna be in trouble. It's much more like I want to show up for my teammates. I want to
Mhm.
bring the best that I can, and it's just so much more of like a joyous way to get the job done. And I really believe it translates into better results. It works particularly well for a small team. I'm still we're getting to, you know, getting on 20 people. It's starting to figure out like, all right, how do you preserve that magic? Honestly, I don't know the answer to that, but for the time being, at least, man, I'm holding on to it and not letting go.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you'll figure out the 20.
I appreciate
Just
that.
stay in touch. You just stay in touch, and right now, I just love your personality. You're very spunky, so that's pretty cool.
Thanks,
So,
Cat
but
Cat.
you
Appreciate it.
you're welcome. So you're not just selling wine, and you mentioned the e-commerce, the technology part of the company. But what innovations have you brought to the online wine space?
Yeah, I mean, it's so the two big things that we've done that other people have tried and failed to imitate. One is that locker system. It's just
Mhm.
such a better solution for the flash sale model. Flash sale meaning it's a short window. It's a lot of people are still doing buy six get free shipping, but a bunch of people have imitated it. Calling it a build the case feature. Not only did we get there first, but we just do it way better because we custom design that checkout experience. So it's just way easier to manage all that stuff. It's way sexier. Like people still doing it with like spreadsheets on the back end, which is a huge problem because then it's like where's my wine? Do you have my wine?
Mhm.
That's a really big issue. So you better be able to deliver on that promise. Then the other thing, which hasn't been as big a deal for our operatives, at the end of the day, I thought it would be, but we focused on doing one click checkout, which is actually really hard for wine because there's tons of decisions.
Uh huh.
It's like, do you want to ship your locker right now? Do you want ice packs? Do you want to go temperature control? Do you want ice packs? Like all this difference. There's things that you have for wine, decisions you have to make that you don't have to make with like normal purchases on Amazon. So it took a lot of kind of careful thinking to be able to get it to the point where you could just with one button go add to locker. So I'm really proud that we got there. I mean, I'm sure people definitely still use it all the time, but I think at the end of the day, that was just like not as big a deal as lockers. But we've got the next big thing rolling down the pike here. So I'm super stoked. We've been working on it for like 2 years now. It's called Special Access, a little
Uh
sneak
huh.
preview. Um, but yeah, I can't talk too much about it other than coming soon. Wine Spy is changing the game again.
That's okay. Cali Cat might be knocking at your door because
All right, you know where to find me.
you in my neighborhood.
All right,
Yeah,
yeah, not too
yeah,
far, man. I
not
hear you cruise up to Hen House. Hen House is
yeah,
just a block away.
yeah. Me and my crew, we go to Hen House.
All right. Well, next time roll over to Wine Spies HQ. I'd be happy to show you around the place.
No, that'd be great. So you're talking about the online wine space, right? And we talked about the how you do your new wine every single day. So how do you maintain your customers' excitement when you're
Uh,
featuring a new wine?
yeah, no, that is a great question, and kind of one of those big challenges because like it's like it's a new wine every day. That it's what I would say is it's a careful balance between giving the people what we know that they want
Mhm.
and mixing it up.
Mhm.
Because if you just looked at our numbers, you'd say, okay, sell Napa Cab every single day, right? Like it just does the best.
Yeah.
But if we do that, then it gets stale real quick. So, you know, we really like try to think about, hey, and then on the other side of the coin, for example, like Grenache and Syrah, domestic Grenache and Syrah does terribly. It just bombs every time, and it's tragic because we get to taste these wines, and so we're like, trust me, like just just buy it, you're gonna love it, trust me, and that's so it's that balancing act between like what we know will for sure work and then bringing stuff out that we know is awesome and just getting people to maybe try something a little bit different and unexpected,
Uh-huh.
and having kind of a careful mix of that. So I think we do a really good job, and especially as our operatives come to trust us over time, like a lot of people find us for the first time because there's a particular wine that they're looking for, and we happen to have a great price on it, and that's cool. That's awesome. Super happy that you found us. But over time, you realize like, oh damn, every single one of the wines that I've got, my past like 6 lockers, every single wine's a banger, you
Yeah.
know? And then it's like, all right, well, maybe these guys know what they're doing. And then maybe, hey, I'll try this thing that I might not have otherwise tried. So over time, our operatives really come to use us as a discovery tool, to find new brands. I mean, there's 10,000 licensees just in Sonoma County. Um,
Wow.
yeah. So worldwide, like there's so many different wines. It's like crazy. I mean, this is why Agent Noir, it's like, I don't know how he does what he does because somehow he keeps them all in his brain. Um, but that's you could go your whole life drinking a different bottle from a different producer every single day. That's how much wine is out there. If you do that, you're going to drink a lot of bad wine too. But but that's where we come in, and we're just like we're finding just the good ones. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Is just we gotta keep it fresh, and I think like one of the things that we do that frankly I don't know how we do it.
Mhm.
My chief marketing officer, Agent Roan, he writes the copy every day in conjunction with our wine buyers, and like it's fun and different every day. I don't know. I wrote the reviews and the copy for a couple of years before he joined, and I ran out of ideas. so so I am just like constantly impressed at his fresh new takes, new ways to keep it fun and engaging, and
That's
yeah,
cool.
that's the
That's
secret
cool.
sauce for sure.
And I'm pretty sure you got a lot more ideas in you.
Nowadays, I've had a little break, got to watch some new movies, get a little
Yeah.
bit, have some new experiences. Yeah, now every once in a while, I got to pinch hit and write something up, and I bring it. I bring it.
Uh, so with the emerging technology and how would I say this? Do you think people will change in 5 years on the way they buy wine, or you think they'll just still get it through Agent Cru?
Yeah, another good question. I mean, honestly, it's really really hard to say. The industry is going through a huge contraction right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
tons of wineries going bankrupt. A lot of it's due to consolidation. Like these are a lot of corporations that bought up like dozens and dozens of properties, trading them like playing cards. And at the end of the day, they don't get the love and attention that they need, and the whole thing doesn't work out. But also a lot of small producers that are independently owned struggling as well. And a lot of that is due to visitation being down. Um, so it's, I think that there's a lot of factors involved in that. I think like, tasting fees have gotten like really expensive. If you're paying $50 a head to go tasting, it's like visit 3 wineries, you're down 150 and you haven't even bought a bottle yet, so
Mm-hmm.
if you're a bunch of college students, it's like that's not really, and then you got to do transportation and stuff, like it's not really as appealing as it used to be. So anyway, the point is I think there's things that the industry can do to improve like in-person wine country visitation. But yeah, people are definitely shifting to buying wine online, and companies are getting way way better at it. Like we're like no one was doing it well before, and now
Uh-huh.
there's quite a few people that are doing it well. Um, and then in terms of the future stuff, like AI, Chat GPT, like who the hell knows? I mean, like no one knows the future right now. But I will say that the holy grail has always been like accurate wine predictions for what your palate is. And
Mhm.
tons of companies say they can do that. It is all BS. And we've actually spent a bunch of money specifically trying to build stuff like this. And then because we sell one different wine every day, we have a huge data set and we're able to, back test it. Like, so we have a prediction model that says, oh, given this winemaker, this score, this, like this producer, this appellation, you're going to sell X amount of bottles, and then we're able to go run that prediction, like go back a couple years, run that prediction forward, and then test it against our actual results. And the computer is like way off. And us, like that's us sitting around the tasting table every week. That's what we're doing is we're making bets about what we think people are going to like. And us as humans are just still way, way better than the computer at that because there's so many independent variables. It is possible that like our AI overlords crack the code. I feel like if they can cure cancer in the future, they'll probably be able to do that to figure out what wine you like.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but and if that comes to pass, then maybe we have a much more tailored experience, and and if that does happen, Wine Spice is going to be on the forefront of it. That you can bet on.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure you're probably already thinking in the back of your head, with
Oh yeah.
technology and everything, and it's like this little what do you call those with the kids they play actually adults play with it
The
too.
the Switch.
No, where it goes up in the air, the drones.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure you have like a little wine drone
Oh yeah.
already corked, and then somebody just opening their mouth and just just
Yeah, we've
downing
got
it.
we've got a couple drones, but we've got like a whole like freaking crazy workshop, like a legit workshop where we could just build anything. We got like 3D printers and like full workshop. And it's like people are like, why the hell do you need this? We're like, why not? Like,
Why not?
who knows what we're gonna build next? I don't know.
Okay, so uh, what has been the most surprising or unexpected lesson from your 12-year journey in wine? You got to think
Yeah,
about that one, huh?
yeah, that is a good one. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give you just like a nonsense answer. To me, I mean, the thing that's like really stood out over the years is just the multifaceted nature of it.
Mm-hmm.
It really is like there's just so much to it because you got the vineyard. Like winemakers will always say, you can't put a better wine in the bottle than the grapes you started with. It's not possible. Like all the winemaker can do is not mess it up, you know? So that means that the vineyard is everything. And so that's like botany, soil science, agriculture, farming. And then you've got the winemaker and it's like chemistry and cooking and, like art and patience. And then you got the business side, which is super unique for all the reasons we talked about before. And then like, this is one of the big revelations that I had, which is that, the barrels themselves are just so important about the finished wine. Like they really, really have a huge impact on it. And that in itself is an art. I mean, barrels are still handmade. There's some machines involved, but it really is it's one of the last few uh, crafts that is at an industrial scale because
Uh-huh.
every barrel is hand carved, but there's still like hundreds of thousands of barrels need to be produced. So, and then they cook the barrel over a fire, one at a time. And it's just really like so the cooperage is also a big element in a finished red wine. And, it's all of those things kind of coming together. And then at the end of the day, and this is why I like the packaging so much, is there's 1,000 different ways to get there, but you end up with a bottle of wine. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, and it's like that standard bottle of wine, and it's just so cool, like how much goes into that and how much the different stuff is. And I think so. If there's one thing that I learned, like that was been unexpected, is that you expect the unexpected. There's just endless layers to this, and that's why I think people that like find wine and have that one glass of wine where they're like before it's like they had wine, they didn't love it, they didn't hate it. At some point, if you got into wine, it was because you had that first sip where you're like, damn, like, well, this is good.
Yeah.
This is different. It's not like other drinks, other foods. This is like something special going on here, and I think that unique quality, that's what separates it. Even like Kai Cat's Tap Talks. Like I love beer. Like I drink beer. Lagunitas across the street, Hen House is right there. Don't get me wrong, it's awesome, and there's tons and tons of similar fermentation science, all that. But still, at the end of the day, you're following a recipe. Once you dialed it in, it's the same every time. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like versus wine, every year is different, every vintage is different. You could do it. You could be a pro winemaker, get it right 20 times, and then mess it up on the 21st time. You know what I mean? And like that's the part where it's just it's every vintage is unique, and then there's kind of no end to that. It's like
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
that's why it's like every season of sports is it you're supposed to know what happens. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's
not like,
true.
oh, I've seen a football game before, I've seen them all.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad football season's back though.
Yeah.
uh, do you have a favorite wine story? Maybe a crazy sourcing trip or a bottle that left a lasting memory.
Um, well, I got a lot of crazy stories. But if in terms of particular wine, I mean, that's the great joy of tasting so many different wines. Working for my family's winery, an awesome experience, learned a ton. But when you work for one producer, you're tasting the same wines.
True.
Like
True.
yeah, and I just said every vintage is different. That's true, but you're still tasting. You're tasting cabs and whatever you bake, but you're not tasting some crazy Croatian, whatever. So, it's super fun to explore the whole world of wine, and we actually do sell a lot of imports. But the other day we just had this wine from Singer Estates. Shout out. And every once in a while, man, you just, no matter how long you've been doing this, no matter how jaded you are, it's like I just said, you'd have that one sip and you're like, my God, like, how is this so good? It's that rare moment. So Singer Wine Estates was a big one recently. And like I said, we can't sell Syrah or Grenache. It does so badly. And then we're like, nope, this is too good. I don't care if 3 people buy it. Those people are going to appreciate it. you know? So we're trying something new called Discovery Days, which is like wines that are kind of like in categories that people don't tend to be as interested in,
Hmm.
so that people know, like, all right, just take a flyer today. Just freaking pick up a bottle, just one bottle. We know you're gonna like it. So that's something new we're testing the waters with.
That's cool. If you could share one piece of advice with someone starting in the wine industry, what would it be?
Don't. Uh,
Why do a lot of people say don't when I say a question like that? What?
Yeah, I know that probably is super common. I mean, it depends how much you care about money, because everyone always thinks, you go to these super dope Napa properties and you're like, oh my God, like this is just so bougie. Like look at this, like luxury. But the reality is, you know, a lot of that is either like very, very old money, like they got in really, really early and property values have gone up, or it's people that are super wealthy from another industry getting into it. So, there's a really common joke in the industry, probably heard it a bunch of times, but how do you make a small fortune in the wine industry? Start with a large fortune. So, that's just really true. So my point is that if you're good at whatever it is you do and you want to make money, you'll make like 30 to 50% more money in any other industry. But then the people that are in the industry why do you stay in it? Because the industry itself is super fun and awesome. Um, so it's so I guess the advice is, you know, decide early on how much you care about money being your goal. And if that is your goal, and there's nothing wrong with that, then pick a different industry. But and if you do want to join the industry, I think it really it's pretty hard to break into. Um, just because there's not that many entry level positions. Like you're always looking for tasting room help. They're always looking for seller help. But there's not necessarily a ton of upward mobility there unless you really, really shine.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be kind of tricky. Like I found people that that really kind of are like do the best are the people that start with a genuine love and appreciation for wine and start as a hobby, and then kind of back into it. Like, especially nowadays where you can create content. It's like starting an Instagram, get 100,000 followers tasting wines, you'll get free product. And, people, it's you're going to do the fun part. Right. And then, okay, if you have an audience, it's pretty easy to parlay that into an interesting gig. So,
Yeah, if you can get 100,000 followers.
yeah, right. I know. Easier said than done, right? But
Yeah, that's like
shout out to our agent Sam, also known as Warner Bowen of Confidence Uncorked. She did it. It just tasted wine at her house in Texas, and now she's out here and doing her thing, continuing to grow at Confidence Uncorked, and delightfully guest starring as Agent Sam on our Instagram.
oh wow, cool, cool. Okay, if you were pouring a glass right now for Agent Burgundy, what's in it and why?
Agent Burgundy or me, Agent Cru?
Cru.
Okay, so for me, that's easy. Dry Creek Zin, baby, all day. I love them. I love those big, juicy, fruity Zins. I call myself. Everyone's got their different, kind of palate at the tasting. We got like our super geeky, likes nerdy, weird wines that I think taste like shoes. We've got the guy who like a francophile and knows, oh, this came from 5 feet away from this one stone wall in Bordeaux. We got the Italian guy. I am the man of the people. Give me red blends. Give me Zinfandels. I want them big. I want them juicy. I want them tasty. I don't want to think too hard. So that's what you'll find me drinking.
So what's next for Wine Spies? Any big missions or horizons? I know earlier you said you didn't
Yeah,
mention something.
special access. That's the
Yeah,
one. That's
so
the one.
yeah.
But we're always doing new fun things. We've got like usually like a cool sales event, like a store takeover, where like because we sell one wine a day, but we do have a small little store section.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So sometimes we'll just like take all the wines out of that and like focus on a particular region. We do like crazy marathons where the wine switches over every hour. Do mystery cases. So yeah, there's always some fun little adventure around the corner.
Oh, that's cool. So you guys do sell like your agent cups and stuff like that?
You know what? I got a swag and merchandise store all set up, and I just like never promote it. Um,
Why?
I don't know. We got like, and
You
honestly, I've
got the
offered it,
personality. You should be promoting. What's
dude.
wrong?
And we've
Come
got
on, Agent Crew.
sweet products too. I got shades, like really nice shades. I got hats. I got shirts. I got
Show me your
the best
shades, man.
corkscrew
Show me
money
your
can
shades
buy.
in the cup. Come on, put the shades in the cup. Come on. Okay, come
Hell
on.
yeah!
Yeah, come on, put
These
your shades on now, and I want to
no,
see. I want to.
these
I
are
want
not the
to.
shades.
Okay,
These are
well, okay. At least put the cup. Put the. Come on, man.
these are
I'm
they're
trying to help
downstairs.
you do some marketing here. Where's your
These are just
cup? Look,
our
I got my
original.
Chick-fil-A cup here with.
Hell yeah! Need more
Where's
chicken,
your cup
baby.
at? Where's
I
your
got my
Asian mug at?
this is my Agent Cru
Yeah, there's
right
your
here.
Asian Crew. There we
But
go.
this
Yeah.
you gotta actually you gotta sign up for duty if you want one of these. Look, it's battle scarred. I got chip in it right there. They're like, oh, do you want a new mug? It's like got a huge crack. I'm like, nah, this is the
as
OG.
as many fans that you have, and you're not really doing your marketing on your swag.
True,
All right,
true.
man. That's that's marketing. So you
All
think
right.
about it, you got people out there wearing your swag, you know?
You've inspired me,
Hey,
Cat. I'm gonna get it out there. So
you
stay
need to,
tuned. Swag.winespies.com. Check it
yeah.
out. I
Don't
think
let
that's
me
actually,
don't let me drive out there and tell you, put that swag on the market, man.
I've been serious though. We got the best corkscrew you could get. The Metro
Oh
King
my
Rabbit
man.
Zippity 2-step. I love that
At
thing.
least give it a try, right? You already got the tools.
100%.
Give it a try and see, and if it takes off, woo,
I
there
got
you
dope
go.
ass hats, 2 styles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All
Okay.
right.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm gonna do it.
All right. I'm gonna hold you to that one, right?
All right. You can watch. End of the week, you'd be like, oh damn, Wine Spot's doing a huge swag
Yeah.
promotion.
Yes. Yeah. And so, where can listeners follow your journey and maybe snag one of those deals?
Winespies.com, baby. It's the place to be. We also have a really responsive and awesome app. So, Android app still to come. But if you're on iPhone, like all the rest of us, App Store, Wine Spies, that's the best experience. Just like super snappy and responsive. But, website's great too. Winespies.com, all our socials, all Wine Spies. So, and Spies is spelled SPIES. So, yeah, check us out, follow along, find a great wine deal you didn't know you wanted.
And stay tuned for his swag coming soon.
And swag.
Cheers from Cali Cat, and cheers from
Agent
Agent
Cru signing out.
Cru. Signing out.